Imagine this. It's 2 a.m. Your face is lit by the glow of your phone. And you're binge watching cat videos that add zero value to your life. Cat videos. Meanwhile, the deadline for that make or break project, the one that could determine whether you get promoted or stay stuck, is looming tomorrow. I've been there more times than I can count. Believe me. What is the crazy part? I knew I was sabotaging my own future, yet I couldn't stop. But why? Why I couldn't stop? Because there is a silent, invisible force that steals more dreams than a lack of talent or money ever could. Procrastination. This is the deep word. It's that tiny voice that tells you do it later while your entire life is put on hold. Is this little whisper that you hear. And it's not just about laziness. Procrastination has to do with something deeper. It's a far deeper, more complex mechanism. The word comes from the Latin procrastinare, meaning to push forward to tomorrow. Very interesting. It sounds so harmless, but be honest, how many times has that tomorrow turned into weeks, into months, or even years? Try to think about all the things that you left for tomorrow and how they become weeks, months, or years, as I said before. Here's the trap. We all think of putting things of as a mirror error, like leaving a dish in the sink. But every time you postpone something important, you're mortgaging your own future. And the debt isn't paid in dollars. It's paid in anxiety, guilt, and loss of opportunities. Do you see the reality of it? The reality of it? Can you see it? The cost, the cost you pay is related to that, to the anxiety, to guilt, and loss of opportunities. It's ironic how society has normalized procrastination and more nowadays. We have memes, jokes, and even t-shirts that say, I work best under pressure, and we normalize this. Everybody's doing it. But I'll let you in on a secret. That myth is one of the most expensive excuses you'll ever buy. It costs you a lot of things. The truth is, your brain isn't operating in excellence mode. Under pressure, it's in pure survival mode. Under pressure. Pay attention to what I'm saying. Your brain under pressure, it's in pure survival mode. And trust me, there's a huge difference between surviving a deadline and building something extraordinary. So, what if procrastination wasn't just your enemy? What if deep down, deep inside, it also had a hidden side you could use to your advantage? When I started seriously researching procrastination, I discovered something that blew up my mind. Not all of it is bad. It sounds weird, even contradictory. But hear me out. Sometimes we postpone things not because we are weak, not because we are weak people or we are as a weak person. Not only because of that, but because our brain is sending us a signal. It's like that awkward friend who always says what no one wants to hear, but it's often right. Too much honesty, right? Maybe you are not comfortable about it, but it is necessary to hear it, because you start seeing the things like they are. The truth is there. Maybe it's hard, but it's the truth. For instance, imagine you have a huge to-do list, and there's one item you always leave for last. There's always there is this item. Why happened this? Maybe because that project isn't truly aligned with what you want in life. It hasn't have the relevance you consider. In this case, procrastination acts as a red light, telling you, hey, are you sure you want to go this way? So yes, procrastination can be a defense mechanism, a compass disguised as an obstacle. But here's the twist of everything. Procrastination also knows how to masquerade as pleasure. It convinces you that 5 minutes on TikTok won't hurt, that one more episode of a show is harmless. It convinces you about this, and you believe it. By the time you snap out of it, time has evaporated like water in the desert. The strange thing is, these little escapes makes us feel alive for a moment, but ultimately leaves us feeling empty. That is the whole thing. It's like eating a greasy hamburger. You enjoy every bite, but later your body sends you the bill. And you are like, what? So think about all that I said and the emptiness you can feel with that. And if I'm being honest, this was the hardest part for me to accept. And I'm being really, really honest, okay? Many of the best opportunities in my life were lost. Not because I lacked ability, but because I let them slip away. That cost me, I slip away 1 week, months, years. I chose later, and later never came. Now, let me tell you about an even darker side of procrastination. Let me know about it. One that most people prefer to ignore. The dark side of procrastination isn't just wasted time. It's something much deeper and more dangerous. The loss of your identity. Every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow, and you don't, your brain learns a quiet lesson. You don't keep your promises to yourself. You're failing yourself. When you repeat this pattern, you begin to love trusting yourself. It's no longer about whether you have a discipline. It's about whether you believe in your own word, what you're saying, what you're doing. So it has to do with that, with the promise that you're making to yourself. Think of it like this. If your best friend says, I'll see you tomorrow at 8, okay, I'll see you tomorrow at 8, and never shows up, and does the same thing the next day and the next week and after, and keep doing like that forever, how long would it take for you to stop trusting them? How many time exactly? You stop believing. because he's repeating the same thing. He's not achieving, he's not doing what he said. I'm going to be there tomorrow at this time, and it doesn't happen. It won't happen. Now, what happens when the one who fails you again and again is yourself? The hardest part is that this internal distrust doesn't just stay with your tasks. It seeps into your dreams, your relationships, and your self-esteem. And that's very important because it's the beginning of everything. Suddenly, you're not just procrastinating a project. You no longer believe you're capable of accomplishing anything big. And you start believing this. And that's the real trap. Procrastination doesn't steal hours. It steals identity. And that's really, really huge. Sometimes putting things off consumes more energy than doing the work itself. We think we're resting or taking a break, but we're actually carrying an invisible weight the entire time. See, it is a weight. Maybe it's not physically, but it feels like a weight, right? While you're on Instagram, your mind is screaming, you should be doing that. And that internal war and these internal whispers is more exhausting than any hard work. That is exhausting to have this whisper on your mind. You should be doing this, not scrolling on Instagram. You should take advantage of your time. The curious thing is that understanding this paradox is the first step to breaking the cycle. If you realize that procrastinating doesn't bring relief, but it steals your peace, you start to look at your choices differently. And right here, right at that point, at this uncomfortable point, is where the key to changing the game lies. Is exactly there, on that point. This is where the change begins. I'll confess you something. The first time I understand that procrastination wasn't just a time management issue, but a problem of values, my mind was blown. Really. Because we think this as a waste of time, but it's not only that. It's a problem about what you believe on your values. You're against your own values. Because that's the root of it. Every time you procrastinate, you aren't just deciding whether or not to do a task. You're choosing between being the person you want to be or betraying them. You're betraying the person you want to be. You want to be someone, but you're betraying that need. We all say we value freedom, growth, and success. But when the time comes to act, to write that resume, go to the gym, or launch that project, we choose Netflix instead. We choose that, the easy way. And there's nothing wrong with Netflix. There's nothing wrong. But the problem is when we are choosing it over what we truly value. It's like saying you want to save for a trip, but spending on $100 on trivial things every week. You're not saving the money you need. You're wasting it. And maybe there are stupid things. Your values are in your actions, but just your words. This is where procrastination exposes you. It holds up a brutal mirror to your face. You say you want this, but you choose that. And that conflict hurts. And why it hurts? Because it forces us to ask the following thing. Do I really want what I say I want? I'm going to repeat it. This is the conflict that we have. Do I really want what I say I want? And we start to think about it. The solution doesn't start with a fancy planner or a productivity technique. It begins with recognizing what you genuinely value. Because when something connects with the deepest part of you, procrastination loses its power. It's like trying to stop someone running to save their child. There are no excuses, no postponement, no tomorrow. Something makes the link in you. Something makes you the star shine. And that link is when you leave procrastination and start doing what you said. So here's the big question. I want you to ask yourself today, if you looked at your last 7 days, do your actions reflect what you truly value? The answer might sting, but it can also set you free. Try to do this question for you and try to answer it honestly. And here you can see what are you doing with your time. Because if you can see that inconsistency, you've already taken the first step toward changing it. And speaking of identity, let me tell you how procrastination not only clashes with your values, but also hijacks the way you define yourself. And that's huge. That's really, really relevant for you. This is the most delicate part. Procrastination doesn't just affect what you do. It affects who you think you are and who would you be. Ultimately, our identity is built from our repeated actions, right? That's what makes you be who you are. If I procrastinate every day, I'm unknowingly telling myself, I am someone who never finishes anything. And I start believing this. And I'm that kind of person. And that label becomes a prison for yourself. Think that words and your thoughts are really powerful. You have to start believing what you say and what you think. I experienced this firsthand for several years and years. I introduced myself as the creative person who always has ideas. It sounded good, right? But the truth was that those ideas stay in notebooks, voice memos, and on napkins. That were my ideas. A really creative person. Until one day a friend said something that shattered my ego. You're not a creative person. You're an accumulator of data. You're an accumulator of dead ideas. Boom! It hurt. But he was right. It hurts, that's true. It hurt me. But it was true, so I have to start to do something. Many people sometimes get angry with these things, with honesty. But how important is honesty for you to grow? The identity I was building wasn't the one I wanted. And my friend put the mirror in front of me. Because it's not about what you dream of. It's about what you do consistently. It's about that. And here's where procrastination plays its cruelest trick. It convinces you that you're not failing. You're just waiting for the right moment. But identity doesn't wait. It's forged with every daily decision. And here's the powerful part. Just as procrastination can turn you into someone who doesn't follow through, you can use small, repeated actions to become someone who does. It doesn't matter if you only make 1% of progress today. What matters is that each action is a vote for the identity you want to. So every piece counts. Every step you take, it is counting. So it's a vote for the identity you want to build. Because in the end, beating procrastination isn't a fight against time. It's a battle for who you decide to be. It's a fighting with yourself. And when you understand that, the game changes forever. You have to understand this so you can change everything. So listen up. Procrastination isn't an external enemy or a demon chasing you. It's a mirror that reflects your fears, your inconsistencies, and your hidden desires. It's a mirror. When you procrastinate, you don't just postpone tasks. You postpone versions of yourself that never get to exist. Never. But in that same act, you have the opportunity to choose differently. And this is the opportunity you have to take. Not slip it away. You have to take this opportunity. Every time you decide to take a step, no matter how small, you're hacking your identity, aligning your values, and creating a future that doesn't depend on tomorrow, but on today. And that's the biggest part of everything. Imagine your life is a video game. It's like a video game. Procrastination is the pause button you keep pressing. But the question is, how many more games do you play to pause before you start playing for real? Nobody wins. Nobody wins a game by staying on pause. But how many times you do this? Nobody wants doing this. Nobody wins. Sorry. So the key isn't to stop procrastinating completely, because maybe procrastinating is fun, right? But you don't have to do this every time. Use your time. That's impossible. It's impossible to stop procrastinating completely. We all do it. The key is to learn to detect when you're running away and when you truly need a break. In that moment, you get to decide who you want to be. The person who tells themselves excuses, or the person who tells a story of victory? What is the person you want to be? Because ultimately, overcoming procrastination isn't about productivity. It's not about like that. It's not about it. It's about dignity and your own identity and your own dignity. It's about regaining trust in your word, reclaiming your confidence, and proving to yourself that you can be the protagonist of your own story. So the next time you hear that voice that says, this little whisper that we have on our heads, the next time you hear it saying this, do it tomorrow, answer it with something more powerful. because you're powerful and words are powerful. Your mind is powerful. So answer it to this whisper that says, do it tomorrow. Answer it with something more powerful. My life isn't on pause. It's in play. And I choose to play it today. I don't want this to be just another more motivational video you turn off and forget. I want you to use it as a spark to ignite the real change on yourself. Because the truth is, we all know what we have to do, but few dare to do it. And that's your advantage. If you choose to act today, you're already in the 1% who don't just wait around. So I challenge you, take this challenge with energy, with attitude. I challenge you, pause this video, write down one thing you've been putting off for weeks, even for months, or even for years. Just one little thing. One thing you've been postponing. And do it within the next 24 hours. Do it. It doesn't matter if it's sending an email, signing up for a course, or even cleaning that corner you've been avoiding. Do it. Just do it. The thing you've been avoiding for days. Because that small action is the beginning of a different identity, a different you. And if you do it, I want you to come back and tell me in the comments. Not just for me to read, but for you to declare it publicly and to see how many people do the same. Because when you share it, your commitment multiplies. So in the end, in conclusion, remember this. Life won't wait for you. There is no perfect version of you in the future. There is only the version you build with every decision you make every day and today. And you get to choose. Do you stay on pause or start playing for real? If this message resonated with you, subscribe. Because here you won't find boring theories. It's not about that. It's not about boring stories and theories that we are talking about, but rather tools to stop surviving. It gives you, we will give you the tools to stop doing what is bothering you. And to start surviving and start living with purpose, to do what you want to do and be the person you want to be. And the next time procrastination whispers to you in your head, remember this: your future isn't paid for with dollars. It's paid for with action.